All right, Chris, what do you think the most important thing of character creation is?
So as this is my first campaign, really talking, getting to know my DM, trying to figure out where my character fits, background, where he's from, what's he there to do, how does he see the world, view the world.
No, I agree. I gotta say the most important thing, at least for me, for character creation and any of the games that I've played, has been character background. Really seeing how my character is going to react to situation, because I can know I'm a fighter and I can know how I'm going to be in battle, but I feel like the true thing behind D&D is always going to be the role playing aspect in how you portray your character. And so you look at Barial, for example. He began very reserved, and then when he truly began trusting you and the other characters, he began to speak more, because you look at, you guys found out he was an orphan and he was a spy, and so he truly couldn't talk about his past. And so by far, I think it's character creation, for the sheer fact of it's going to be what truly brings the story to life and allows you to play your character.
That's definitely true. I mean, just thinking back to all the way back to our first session, I didn't know how War wanted to play. I didn't know how my background was going to tie in. So as we progressed throughout this campaign, I feel like War has evolved just like I have grown as a D&D player. War has evolved as a character. Really just kind of like a hack and slash as I first started.
For sure.
Just wanted to fight, but there was some things in War's background that I was able to pull from and use throughout the campaign consistently, thinking to just where the character wants to be, what is his ultimate goals. I very much play War like I feel like War wants to be played.
I mean, you look at, because you were talking about metagaming moments before we started recording, you think about any kind of class. There's things within each subclass that have, when you were first creating your character, I remember you're like, oh, I could do this, or oh, I could do that. With any class, you can do that, but what truly brings that character to life is going to be that background, how you portray that character in that background. So, and I think the biggest thing out of all of it, because we can come up with some amazing, beautiful background like I did for Barial, but really talking to that DM and seeing how you can bring that story to life. So maybe that's whether you play in person or through sites like Roll20 or tabletop games, anything like that, that you send a message to your DM to get a couple moments to talk, whether it's 10 minutes or so, just to be able to truly give your character its own voice in a way. Because your background is certainly, like, obviously my character Orphan, he's going to be reserved. And so that allows you to really gives you the aspect of how you're going to play the character. Because, I tried out the Blood Hunter, so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do range, so forth like that. I knew how I was going to be in battle, but it's that role playing aspect of the game, which is really what is D&D. So yeah.
So as I play War, the one thing that I've learned and I've added into my background is just that War really wants power. He seeks power. He's gravitated towards power, so that's why, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Everybody that's in our party is unique and powerful. Everybody that we interact with. So it's kind of interesting just to think that's not how I thought War would be. But now, a year into War, War likes power.
Yeah, you can certainly tell that. Now, unfortunately, Barial's no longer with us. During a raid within our kingdom, he passed away, but I took time, and same thing with this new character that I'm playing now, Lessel. Truly trying to see what kind of background and what kind of things I could bring to life with him. He's a guild merchant, and so I use that to kind of become a salesman. And no matter what kind of things I'm being propositioned with, I kind of try to find what's my bargain in it. So it didn't matter whether it was I was just helping you guys for a day or a week. It was, what am I getting paid in this? What am I going to be able to do for this contract I'm completing for you? Because, you know, I got to make bills. I got to make payments. You read through these backgrounds and it literally tells you, you know, you have to pay forth to the guild that you're a part of. You have to bring your contribution. So it's simple things like that. Or even if you do something like the custom lineage and you want to come up with your very own background, putting depth to it, giving it, I don't know why I keep saying this, but life. Because, you know, it's that role playing aspect, but for you to envision it for your other characters to see your development and to truly learn who your character is, rather than just, I'm someone that goes around just hacking and slashing through things in battle, and I don't participate when it comes time to like negotiations and stuff like that. So by far, I truly believe one of the most important things of character creation is going to be that background and where your character comes from. Your character.
Well, and it helps when you're caught in a rock in a hard place, and not in a battle where you're trying to figure out a puzzle or a trap, or just to think, all right, how would my background go about this? How would War's background as a paladin, or in the city he came from, being a religious type fighter trained to do things until he was exiled, how would he react, especially when you throw in that exile piece? Like, does he trust people? Does he not trust people? Is it a means to an end, which throughout all of War's life, that's what everybody has been a means to an end.
I agree. Because no matter what class you can pick or that you pick, if you make errors or anything like that, don't put enough in your charisma as a paladin, you learn this over time. You can correct those with feats and everything like that, but what truly makes your character in the end, whether it's level 1 or 20, is that background. It's going to be that character development, how you react. It's going to make the story and drive it. Because you can always correct those things down the road. You've seen when you were first making your paladin level 1, you're like, why did I choose this? But now that you're here, you're over there like, can I divine smite him even though he's already dead on just any kind of raid? So I truly believe at the end of the day that character creation, the most important thing will always be background.
For sure, because then that's what connects you to it emotionally.
Oh, goodness, yes.
That's what connects it. Like, you see your goals, you know your background, you know what your goals are. That's what connects you to your character emotionally. And that night you were talking about with the Divine Smite was a night I just wanted to destroy something beautiful.
But yeah, most certainly. And you know what? I've DM'd before. I've made characters before. I played in-person campaigns as well as through Roll20. So I've seen every different aspect, and I've seen people struggle with their characters and getting into the game because honestly, they just picked a class, they picked a background, but they didn't put thought behind who that person was. So is there anything you could say as a new player besides what you already have?
So this may sound weird, but as a new player, I would decide what you want to play, the character you want to play, where do you want that character to come from, and then let your interactions with the other players give a very general background description, much like mine. So I left it very short, very simple, and to the point because I didn't really know where War was going to be, or where War was going to come from, or how that was going to interact. And that has grown over the last year and few months into now I play War just the way I imagined him. But it took me a while to get there. That character background, like really focusing in on in your head and with your DM what you want that story to be, and then how that plays together. But don't be so, as a new player, don't be so hung up on
I need to have everything ready.
I need to have everything ready. Like, you can let your character evolve over time, and then add in stuff to your background that you thought of in the moment, right? Maybe a player interaction, you're like, oh my god, this would be amazing for 3 months down the road. You talk to your DM, and then your DM unleashes a giant wolf that you turned into.
Yeah, I'm truly I like that. With Burial, since I was more experienced, I definitely put a lot of thought into it before, but I didn't think about that. As ideas came up, I definitely went and talked to our DM, and I gave him these ideas. And, he told me yes on some, no on others, and in time, it folded out to be the person you were all attached to before he died. And that's the thing, that emotional level that'll tie into the emotions of your companions, your other fellows that you're playing with. I know War and Panteri were very distraught when Barrio left, because as an orphan, it was literally like 2 sessions before in which I was like, you guys are my family. You all are my family. I've never trusted anyone, and I trust you. And shortly after, unfortunately, he passed. But it's those kinds of things that will help to truly create a story, rather than it's just, hey, let's go roll some dice. It's you're imagining these things and feeling these emotions of your characters. But
I just think about, as human beings, we evolve over time.
yes,
The interactions that we have with people, the videos or movies we watch, the video games that we play, all changes us whether we realize it or not. So I think, to me, in playing a D&D character, it's allowing that change to feel organic, to feel human. That, when something really does move you, how does it change your character forever?
Yeah.
How does it change your character going forward? And I know the death of Burial changed how we were, or
Yes.
how I was anyway. So
well, other than that, Sons, this has been an episode of the Crown Sons D&D portion of our channel, so we hope you enjoyed. Please let us know down in the comments below what future videos you would like to see, or even if you have any questions about our campaign, about our characters, or any thoughts about making, if you have an upcoming campaign, you want some advice on a character.
let's work through it together.
Heck yeah. So, Sons, have a wonderful day. This has been Barial Tansel.
And War.
Bye-bye.